Hey guys, welcome to your factoring expressions video lesson. Please have your video outline out in front of you, and let's start with some terminology. Our first word is composite. So a composite number is a number that can be written as a product of two or more positive integers other than one in itself. So what does that mean? Well, here's an example. For example, 14 would be composite because it can be written as 7 times 2. It could also be written as 1 times 14. So all those numbers, 7 and 2, or 1 and 14, are called factors of 14. So what does this have to do with factoring expressions? Well, let's take a look. So the word factoring is a process by which the factors of a composite number or a composite expression are determined, and the number or the expression is written as a product of these factors. So why don't you guys take a minute, pause, copy all this stuff down, and we're just going to take all these words and convert it into math. So here's example number 1. This example 1 is 9 times b plus 27. So what we want to do is factor out a common factor. So what does that look like? We're going to do something called upside down division. And we're just going to write 9b comma 27. And we're going to think about what number can go into both 9 and 27. So some of you might be thinking 3, some of you might be thinking 9. Either way, I'm going to start with a smaller example and work towards some bigger ones. So 3 can go into 9 3 times. So we're pretty much just doing division, just upside down. And 3 can go into 27 9 times. So we get something that looks like this. 3b and 9. Now take a look at 3 and 9. What factor do 3 and 9 share? And again, hopefully you're saying 3. So 3 can go into 3 1 time, and 3 can go into 9 3 times. So we have 1b and 3. So the common factor between 9b and 27 is right here. Let me show you. It's 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is, I hope you're saying 9. So 9 is my common factor. So when I take 9 out, what's left over? And it's all of this stuff down here. So if I take 9 out of 9b, I am left with 1b, or just b. I bring the plus sign down. And if I take 9 out of 27, I'm left with 3. Okay, so there's your very first factoring example. Some of you might still be a bit confused. We're going to do 4 more examples, so follow along and make sure you're copying all the work as you see it on the board. If you need to, please pause now. Okay, here's example 2. We have 6 times the number a minus 48. So what we're going to do is set up our upside down division. We have 6a and 48. We don't worry about the sign until the end. So we're going to take a look at 6a and 48 and think about a factor that can go into both 6 and 48. So I picked the number 2. You could have used the number 6 right off the top if you thought of it. I'm just showing you the smallest numbers possible. So 2 can go into 6a 3a times, and 2 goes into 48 24 times. So now I'm going to look at 3 and 24 and think about a number that can go into both of those, a factor. And that factor would be 3. So 3 goes into 3a, 1a times, or just a, and 3 goes into 24 8 times. So our largest factor between 6a and 48 is 2 times 3. which is 6. So we put our factor outside, and what's left over is down here. I'm just going to put a minus sign between them. So 6 is left over. 6a divided by 6 is just a. Bring the minus sign down. 48 divided by 6 is 8. Okay, if you need a minute, please pause. We'll move on to example 2. Sorry, example 3. Okay, we're going to factor 9 times b plus 12 times c. So we're going to set up our upside down division box. So we're going to take a look at 9 and 12 and think of a factor that can go into both. I picked the factor of 3. So 3 can go into 9b 3b times, and 3 can go into 12c 4 times c times. So since nothing can go into 3 and 4 evenly, we are finished. So our common factor is 3. 3 goes into 9b 3b times. Bring the plus sign down. And then 3 goes into 12c 4c times. Okay, if you are having any questions as we're going through this, write them down and ask them in class tomorrow. Okay, our next example, example 4. We have 10a plus 25ab. So we set up our upside down division. Now think about a factor that can go into 10 and 25. And that factor is not only 5, but if you notice, they both share an a. So the factor is going to be 5a. So 5a goes into 10a 2 times. Okay? And 5a goes into 25a 5b times. Okay, it looks like this. If you're like, wait a minute, what's happening to the variables? 10a divided by 5a. Let's say a was 2. I can reduce those to 1. 10 divided by 5 is simply 2. Now the same thing is happening with 25ab over 5a. If I look at my a's, they cancel each other out. 25 divided 5 is 5b, and that's how I get 5b. So my final answer is common factor of 5a, and what's left over is right here on the bottom, 2 plus 5b. Okay, and I just bring my sign down. Oops. Just bring the sign down. All right, and our last example, we have 6 times m minus negative 15m times n. Set up your upside down division. And our common factor between 6m and 15m is not only a number, but also a variable since they share m. So our common factor would be 3m. Okay? And a 3 goes into 6 2 times. The m's cancel out. And 3 goes into 15 5n times because the m's cancel out. So the final answer is 3m times 2 minus 5m. All right, great work, guys. Any questions, please make sure you jot them down. Tomorrow we'll spend plenty of time doing many more examples just like this. All right, see you tomorrow.